Okay, we're live and in person.
Love it.
Whenever you're ready.
Call meeting to order. We are still waiting on one person, and then two are for sure not gonna be here, so.
We can start business, so.
Are we okay to approve the agenda for this meeting? Do I have a,
One thing that we need to add to new business is the county fair. It's usually about this time of year that we start talking about it and what money gets allotted and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
there
we just need
any-
a motion in a second.
I'll motion.
As amended.
Second.
Thank you.
awesome. Approved as amended. Are we okay to approve the minutes from last month? I mean, most of it was, yeah, most of the meeting was us picking stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
you guys look like
Sorry.
you're having so much fun.
Sorry. Oh, you were watching. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Okay. So you got to. Oh, did you get to see them? Kind of.
No, not really,
Okay.
but you guys look like you had so much fun doing it.
Oh, I don't know about fun. It was a little stressful. I'm not gonna lie, especially with like the little kids. I felt bad the whole time.
Yeah, it was a little stressful.
I don't see anything that needs changed.
Yeah, I didn't see anything when I.
I move we approve the minutes from last month as presented.
Time out,
Time
sorry.
out.
Point of order, you can't because you weren't here.
Oh,
You can't vote on this one. It has to be these
I read it.
Well,
Yeah.
I move that we approve them then.
Perfect.
And he's here so he can vote.
Yay!
Hello.
There's our 5.
That was you I saw walking. You were going in
Yeah.
a weird way, and I just saw the back, and I was like, I'm not sure that's him.
Yeah.
I probably should have stopped to ask you.
It's all right.
Next time.
There's another set of things.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we motion, Madam Chair, we just need a second for the minutes.
Can I second?
You can't.
I second.
Perfect.
He's so official today. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Amy, yeah.
Oh, so you should say all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Brilliant.
We don't have any public here today. So I guess we can move on from public comments.
Yeah.
Old business. Did we have anybody else who went through the strategic plan
I was gonna go through it some more, but I
to
didn't have a
update
chance.
stuff? I don't think I saw anything.
There more of those? Or is it just
I
It's
did
just
one.
the one, but
Okay. That's good.
mostly I was,
Where's it go? Why is that all over there?
I don't know.
Help.
What'd you do?
Help. Okay. What are we doing? Well, I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay,
There we go.
that's better.
Mostly the reason I wanted something printed out was because Evie, you had said you had trouble accessing this.
Yes, I did.
So I wanted you at least to have this. Possibly you can take this one home today.
Oh, yes, thank you.
To look over it because we had gone through. Most of us had gone through and done each section with the ones that we had kind of like taken on. This was probably 3 months ago. We had kind of either assigned or taken on certain ones in this, certain bullet points, topics.
Like I was telling Stu before the meeting started, as far as artists to paint and maintain murals on their buildings,
So,
good luck inside the historic district.
yeah. So what I'm gonna have you do, because these meetings are not long enough for each of us to go through each of them, is just go
I
through.
can type my reply.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
go ahead and go through and either handwrite or type or whatever. So we have all of them in one place. If you need to email that to like myself, I can copy and paste it into this. We have it all in one
Perfect.
place. That's
Perfect.
fine. Last time we didn't want to choose one because it was also, we were choosing all of the art, and that just felt like too many things to do in one night. Do we want to go through and nail down one of these goals to try to hit by the end of the year? Because that had been the original plan during January, and then February we postponed it because it was already a really long meeting. Do we feel up to that task tonight?
You're saying just like
Just picking
build
one.
outdoor performance venue.
Just
Pick
picking
that.
picking one of them that we think we could accomplish by the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
Meeting December.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since we don't meet over the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4A.
So that is one that has not been worked on yet, which is why it's black. So I would
But
suggest
that was
we
one that was so popular, if I remember, with the last meeting I was at.
correct. So that was one that Michaela was going to work on a little bit, but we don't have any sort of stuff started on that. I would suggest if we are going to just move forward with fleshing one of these out, it would be the one that Corey worked on.
Yeah.
He's already done a ton of the like logistical stuff in this document, and the biggest leg. Well, you made it up really nicely. It looks great. The biggest legwork would just be talking to local businesses and talking to local artists, which
Yeah, I think I wrote in there somewhere
It's probably
creating a survey, actually, not just talking to
Yeah.
local businesses, but create a survey on who's willing to do this.
Yeah.
We need to set parameters of how this is going to work, and then see if we can sell it to both artists and
there it is.
businesses
Yeah.
or whatever.
Create a survey right there.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that.
So I guess this is my question to you, Mr. Director. Would we, over the course of the next couple of months, simply lay out a strategic plan for City Council, or would we do this said survey and get all of this info for them and then present that to them? Which
Number
direction
2.
would we even start?
So I think think of this as 10,000 foot level for city council.
Mhm.
So probably less is more for them, right?
Love it.
Here are. It might even just be this list on the agenda. Like these are the components of the plan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can provide them a link if they want to look at the full thing.
Yeah.
But possibly it would be, you know, here's the feedback we've got from
Yeah.
the survey tool. We got so many responses. We do a little blurb, like the history of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then out of that came these 6
Priorities.
main priorities.
Yeah.
And tonight we're here in front of you to have you approve this sort of strategic plan of the art commission, and know that in the minutes you'll see, because they see the minutes every month, in the minutes you'll see the progress given on each of these as we work through them. That's one idea. You could also choose to give them the full meal deal and go over every aspect of everything. Your answer to your question is probably not do any survey or other extra work, and
That's fine.
they would approve the plan, and then they would say go forth and do good things.
Cute.
And then that's when you do the nuts and bolts stuff.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I mean,
Makes sense to me.
yeah. I mean, as of now, at least 3 of these are fleshed out to the point that we could hand it to them.
And so I guess my recommendation would be to provide them some sort of overall, here are the number of responses we got, here are
Okay.
the types of suggestions, and out of those, basically a summary
Yeah.
document that's
Okay.
just like, hey, these are the 6 main components we'll be working on. They include a variety of challenges, including funding and coordination and information gathering, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But know that this is our direction for the next, I don't know, whatever years. You know, it's not going to happen in 1 year, so
No.
it'll be.
No, yeah.
You know, I think it's more of a 3 to 5 year kind of horizon. So, and that's just, and then like you said, Katie, each meeting, it might be worth tonight, instead of diving in, it might be worth tonight picking something to focus on next week, next month. So then y'all kind of focus on that, look at it, and then I can put it in emails. Remember to focus on this one, look at this section, and
Mhm.
then look at the comments in the document, etc. And bring to the meeting, and we'll flesh that one out and have action steps. Because the dream is, right, here's the overall goal, here's the objectives, boom, 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 to accomplish the goal.
Yeah,
And then away you go. We start taking them off.
that's fine. Well, then in that case, I mean, should our goal to be simply to put together said summary document that involves the survey that we took with that information and the goals? And then-
I'll do that if that's, unless you want to. I can do that, and then we can approve that at our next meeting.
Okay.
And we can have some discussion about that. But to do it in a setting like this is probably not going to be efficient.
No, absolutely not.
So why don't I do that, given, like,
Okay.
I'll do the, kind of the history, the details, the survey
Yeah.
respondents, a little
Yes,
summary,
yeah,
like a little couple of paragraphs, and then basically just say these are the main objectives that came out of that. And currently, you know, you guys are working on the goals to accomplish,
Mhm.
or the objectives to accomplish the goals.
okay. I mean, what realistically would our next step be then, as far as how do we,
So the
since
next
I
step-
know that this
we
is
would review
more
it.
of a,
Would
All
we
the-
review and approve the summary and then send that to?
Yeah, so it looks something like this. In April, you're going to approve the summary and
Yeah.
the city council report, basically.
okay,
Then in May, the city council will get that and approve it, and then at that point, then they're telling you, for the May meeting, it's gonna be after the city council meeting. So at that point, it would be on the agenda to then, you know, review their comments if they had any.
Okay.
And then move forward with starting to, like, pick those, like, if you wanna pick one to work on, great. If you wanna pick a focus area,
Okay.
whatever it is,
okay,
right? The mission of this strategic plan, this document, is
Yeah.
to keep these meetings focused and driven. So we
Correct.
don't go squirrel.
exactly,
That's the whole point of this.
yeah,
So if somebody has a cool idea, like Safe Routes to School comes and they have a cool idea, that's awesome, but it's not our plan.
mhm,
So we wanna, how would that fit in our plan? If it would, it's in the plan, so it's fine. You know what I mean? If somebody came with a weird,
Yeah.
this happens in parks all the time, like, we need a dog park over on the south end of town. Okay, but the community did not prioritize that, or we
Mhm.
need pickleball courts. It's dead last in the
Yeah.
surveys, so I can't dedicate any time to that. If you
Mhm.
wanna go raise a bunch of money and come to me with a pile of cash and say, hey, can we help fund a pickleball court, then that's a different conversation, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spend time on it. Just like if you guys came to me with a weird curveball about something, I would say, well, is it in the plan?
Mhm.
No, then we shouldn't spend time on that.
okay,
So, anyway, long story short, I think our steps are do the summary, get it approved, council, and then start picking it apart into chunks
okay,
and knocking them off and making sure that we have, this is really long and hard to read.
mhm,
So I think part of the strategy is me just going in and organizing it into sort of more bulleted,
mhm,
here's the goal, here are the objectives and the activities,
Yeah.
right? And then we can read it easier.
and
Because
just
right
split it
now-
down by
item
each
rather
goal,
than by
yeah,
step.
Exactly.
mhm,
By
And
item would be
this is-
easier, I
And
think.
I can incorporate all this into that.
Yep.
So this is a good, we didn't waste our time,
No.
but.
yeah, I mean, all the information is now there, it just needs to be
Yes.
Reorganized, yeah.
Okay. Well then, I mean, mostly, if that is the goal for next meeting, what is our goal this meeting? As far
Well,
as
you
this
could-
goes.
I think you've nailed it.
Okay.
If we want to, you know, kind of briefly talk about Corey's stuff or anybody's stuff, or if Evie's got kind of things that are sticking out because she's looking at this,
Mm-hmm.
if you have things that you remember, like, oh, I remember that was kind of weird or that was an issue, we could talk about that tonight.
Has everybody who has access to the document had a chance to read through the people's stuff?
I haven't.
I skimmed it.
Okay.
I've done a little bit, but.
No, you're good. It's,
So,
I mean, again, it's a
I don't even
long
remember
document.
what I wrote, to be
Yeah.
honest with you right now.
I think
Fair.
we
Oh, I wrote
probably
that.
don't spend a ton of time tonight.
No,
And we
That's,
just,
yeah,
unless you guys can remember something that was like,
No,
"Wait, what's
nothing
that?"
stuck out to anybody. Then I think
nothing
just
will
leave
work.
it as is. If people have time in the next month to go through and look at it, so that anything that does stick out, we can adjust next meeting before we send it off. That would be preferable.
Yeah.
Evie, same for you. If you want to go through and add your stuff, so we can adjust it before next meeting, before we send all that off, that would be
Yeah,
amazing.
I'll read through it tonight and send
Love
send out anything tomorrow.
I love that.
So
Okay.
yeah, essentially after
Perfect.
in April, you know, I'll start kind of bullet pointing stuff as you guys are giving me. Probably after the April meeting, then everybody will have their comments in maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll be golden. And then I'll actually, Abby, after you give your comments, then I'll start organizing it.
Yep.
And then
That's
in
why I said
April, we
I'll
can look
read
at
through
that
it
too.
tonight, and
Perfect.
if I have any comments or anything, I'll send them out tomorrow, and we'll go from there.
Perfect.
Great.
Okay. Well then, yeah. Then I guess just that's the plan for next month for that. So then, moving on to regional high school awards, since that's all kosher.
Sure, 1 second.
Sorry, I'm talking too fast for Stu's typing.
Okay, so here are, let's see, this is the sort of, what do you call it, runner-up or something?
Yeah, it's the judge's
Judge's
choice,
choice.
I think. Is what
Judge's
it's called.
choice.
I don't know
Coming to your
label it
screen now.
Eee!
There you go.
It's a little dark. It was a little brighter than that. I just
This is
we
called
hadn't even done lighting it when I was taking it.
Thief. Yeah, this is called Thief. So,
It's about
Cool.
this size, I'd say.
yeah.
Wow.
So that was a student named Eloise Bjork, sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
There's one. So, and then the winner is here. There you go.
Interesting.
So that is called Wrapped in Wonder. So
What,
That is
medium is
very
it?
cool.
Acrylic painting.
Is it, oh, it's painted.
Yes. It's
Oh,
painted.
goodness.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, it makes it a little
from,
more impressive, doesn't
Yeah.
it? I mean, I think
Calvin
it's like graphic
Burgess.
design or something. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna do that.
kind of looks like yeah, being,
Yeah, good.
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
That's what I was drawn to, is kind of the uniformity and
Well, it looks
Mhm.
like fabric.
You
I
can
thought
never
it
go
was,
wrong with
I thought
that.
it was textile art. I didn't, just
Yeah.
from glance.
That's really cool.
And one was it? Was it this one? Who was there to accept the basket, or was it?
no, the artist of Thief was there to
Oh,
accept.
okay. Did the other one got delivered
Sure
to?
Yes.
I can't remember who, but
It's actually friends with Gracie, so she's on the cheer team with my daughter,
Oh,
so it's
perfect.
really easy to be like, here,
Here,
no problem.
this
I know
to cheer
this
from.
child. Yeah.
We'll make sure it gets to the right child.
Yeah, I know this child. This is easy.
That's good.
Yeah. So she was
Nicely done
super excited,
again.
of course.
Yeah, good job.
I love
That's
it.
great.
Yeah. So.
Well, it was
Yeah,
great
very
because I
cool.
think there was a third piece that I was really torn between one of these and it won one of the other awards, so that's always nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and in
Love
the
it.
future, I would assume if y'all want to rotate these duties, you know, or collaborate or go together and judge them, I'm sure it's all game. So
That's awesome.
good stuff. Yeah. So there you go. So we can kill that one. Yeah.
All right. Well, then, are we good with old business?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Okay. New business. Arts for All.
Yeah, so Arts for All is an undertaking that the Parks and Recreation Department does. It's been through its iterations in the past, but now it's scheduled for Saturday, April 26th. And that'll be at Willow,
We'll be back.
Willow School, sorry, the pens are, do you have one?
That's it. Willow now. In the gymnasium.
Yeah. So at the Willow Gym on Saturday, April 26th from 10 to noon. My recreation, what's his name, coordinator, my rec coordinator, Chris, is coordinating this. He's reached out to lots of different organizations already. And he's looking for like 6 to 10 tables, organizations that will come and lead some sort of arts and crafts thing or
Cute.
whatever, and run activities. So he's asking for organizations that can, well, he's saying that organizations can also promote their services while they're there. So CHD will come and they'll lead an activity and then they'll talk about their services, for example. He's saying that he would love your help as a commission or individually to come help either run the table, set up, clean up, all those things, run around, all the things that we
What
have to do.
happened
in
to
a
the
minute.
book that we put together?
He has it.
He does have it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then my second question is why has it gotten pared down so small?
That's been you mean hours?
Yes. Usually
That's been
it was an all-day event, one day, and then a half-day event for special needs.
Yeah, you're going way back, yeah.
Yeah,
That
and
was
so
two.
it's like every year, once y'all got it back,
Yeah.
it's gotten less and less and less, and I was
Yeah.
just curious as to
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, ever since the Parks Rec Department, it's been a couple hours. And the reason is, it seems like in the springtime, the feedback is like, look, we're running to baseball, soccer, whatever, right? So the trick, for some reason, is that morning time. So the original time we did it was the all-day event till 4, I believe, and there was nobody there, right? It's hard to get people to commit to
Usually
sit at
about
the
3.
table.
But it was really big with special needs.
Right. You're going back 10 years ago when Minnie was here. So we haven't done that since the Art Center.
Art Center
took over.
East did a
The
day.
second day?
Yep.
Okay. I don't remember that.
I'm like I said, I'm just
Yeah.
curious because it's
After we took it back, the capacity was, we reached out, as far as I remember, we reached out to the schools and they were like, it's hard, transportation, whatever. And then we reached out to some other groups, and just to get people to lead stuff was hard. So I think this is what we're left with. The volunteerism maybe has dropped, the interest from the schools maybe has dropped.
well, it's gotten shot in the foot so bad.
We're
We're having to rebuild basically.
that's true too. So now
I mean, at one point they had buses that would pick up people and bring them to this event, and
yeah. So if that's something that y'all want to take on to help with, I think that's something we can talk about. It's just there doesn't seem to be a lot of interest from volunteers to set up tables and the schools, and the parents are busier now, and it's like it seems like it's evolved to sort of this little specialty event that's been pared down from 10 years ago, but over time I think it's still
The kids are just doing so many other things now.
yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think
the-
it's
I
Well,
mean,
I was
the kids' activities levels have increased
Sure.
greatly.
Yeah.
I think that's
Sure.
part of it.
I think that it's still a valuable event, and it's still really well attended, and it's probably better attended because of that quick time.
Short
Because
time.
people are like, I'm going for the whole thing now, because when
Because I have
you-
limited time, I can't put
ultimately,
it off.
ultimately you water it down when it's 2 days or bigger or longer, whatever, and then people just weren't showing up. So that's what I remember. I don't have any data that supports much of that. It's just my own memory of it,
Yeah.
kind of as it's faded over the years.
well, I remember it from back when my
Oh, yeah.
kids were little, and
Yeah, I've got pictures of that gym at Riveria being packed.
yeah,
Full of people, and Corey, you were around too. That was big,
We
big
hung
time.
all that kids' art all over the walls. It was a big undertaking.
Big,
we, we
time.
ran a poster contest through the school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I think we're up for any and all of that. We just need help. So it's one of those things.
So really what we're being asked is just to reach out to people we know and see if anybody's interested in setting up like an activity table.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he says think simple activities, that engage kids right away. They walk away with something right away. It's not, it could be. I mean, back in the day, there was like a come try a musical instrument thing for a
Yeah.
little bit. Like get some basic instruction.
oh, we used to do the garden pavers.
Yeah.
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 Think summer camp crafts.
Kind of.
Yeah. That's fair. Okay. Yeah.
And,
Anyway.
and do these, I don't even remember how it worked then, are these these organizations that are sponsoring a table or doing a thing, are they paying for all the materials, or is
Yeah.
Parks
Yeah,
and Rec
they
paying?
just,
Okay.
we just
Fully
provided the
donate.
space.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like,
That's another
bring
thing
your
that's-
stuff, show up.
That's another thing that's different. The art commission used to pay
Yeah.
to supply everything because of the fundraiser in the fall.
Well,
And then-
that's,
And then it was, we had
things
all
got
this-
shuffled, Stu.
Sure. We had fish prints, I remember, that was a
Yeah,
big thing.
Guy at Taco, yeah.
Yep, and then there were like tie-dye shirts, we did those, I remember.
Those you had to pay for.
Musical instrument, I don't know, there was a lot of things.
There's a lot of different things.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're still up for all that stuff. It's just, if that's something you guys want to take on as a pet project, the Landscape and Forestry Commission does a big Arbor Day thing and they help kind of do all that. They show up and they do tables for
Well, it'd
kids
be
in the
nice
park.
to have a table
whatever.
and
So,
do something.
so anyway, you can talk about that now, or
I mean, it's been around, what, 35, 40
a
years?
long time.
Is anybody here interested in running a table for the Arts Commission? Or do we want to simply reach out to people we know to get them in touch with Chris?
We could do both.
I mean,
I will reach out to people.
yeah,
I think-
I would reach out.
Given that I will be back 4 days, I'm not sure what my
yeah,
mental capacity
I
will
will
be
have
back.
just gotten back as well.
Yeah,
4 days before,
Yeah.
or 3 days before, 4 days before.
Yeah, we get back on the 22nd, I think.
Yeah. So I
You pick
I
a table
can't-
and what you want to do, and I've got warm bodies that can do it.
Okay. I am not going to come up with an idea that I can't fulfill myself
Yeah,
because I don't want to put that on somebody. So if you want to do a table for the Arts Commission, I think that's great. And I think that you should get in contact with Chris to let him know what you're going to be doing so that he doesn't double up if there's somebody else who is also doing that. I am going to reach out to people that I know, the artsy craftsy humans, because I know lots of them, and I'm going to let them know to get in touch with Chris. I think that if everybody can reach out to just like one human who they know, we can get
It's
him
great.
like 5 tables all set up to help add to what he already has. I think that that's the very least that we could do. If people want to do other things, I think that's great. But I'm not going to put that expectation on people when I know I probably can't be there.
yeah.
And that's kind of the story we get every year from commissioners, which is
Mhm.
okay. I'm just saying, if we want it to go back to the way it was or more,
Like I said,
That's
there's no way at this stage of the game we
There's just
could.
no funding.
Yeah.
There's no funding, there's no interest.
Well, and there's not enough time right now.
Yeah.
If we
Exactly.
wanna,
this year for sure.
if we wanna make it something like,
It would be.
Yeah, we'd
if we
have
wanna
to,
make it grow, we need to plan much further in
Yeah.
advance.
we start like the day after planning for the next year.
Yeah.
I'll send Chris's info out just so you can.
Yeah,
briefly
Thank you
contact
very much. Yes.
Also, I'm not sure if you did, I
Yes.
just noticed it, I don't know if you did or not, but will you send timesheets too? Cause I didn't remember if you sent
What's it
that out. A timesheet?
Just copies of that.
Yeah, something,
Out to
yeah.
us. Thank you. Okay, so for new business fair stuff.
Yeah, we start talking about the county fair. Do we want to have a booth again at the county fair? If so, I can reach out to Kathy Gover and get that going.
What would we like to do if we do have a booth? Last year we had the survey, so we wanted to get as much stuff done with that as possible. Is there something
Well, we've got a
specific?
survey. I noticed in here you were talking about a survey. That would be another option that we could do there too.
Yeah, but that
Well,
that would be
Mine was
surveying
targeted.
specific
yeah,
people.
mine
That's
are
very targeted.
particularly-
It's not necessarily the masses. It's specific, surveying local business owners or surveying local artists or surveying, local landowners who own, pieces that somewhere else can go on. Like
When-
that's very targeted.
When is the installation of the vinyl wraps again?
We're hoping for starting in the summer.
Right, maybe July.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends on government red tape, so we gotta go through ODOT and the city stuff.
Would we potentially at least have mock-ups of what they'll look like?
Oh
with
yeah,
the
I'll have
art
those at your
put in?
next meeting.
So that could be something
Yes,
cool then,
something
is
to have on
promote
display.
that.
I didn't even
tech.
Yeah,
think
because
about
we
that.
did
That'd be
promote that a
awesome.
lot at the booth. So
Yeah, so if we had the printouts, what
Look
it's
what the
actually
Arts
going to look
Commission's
like,
doing. Yeah.
I
That
think
would
that
be
would be
amazing.
worth
Yeah.
doing at the booth.
Go ahead.
You could also talk to some of the people who are helping at Arts for All and see if they wanted to do an activity one day or half a day during the fair. And that way you could have different activities going on to get kids to stop
I
or,
usually just throw candy and noisy toys
Yeah.
at kids.
yeah. That way there's some sort of actual
Interaction.
interaction and,
Well, and we do the
and it
coloring
focuses
table every
rather
year
than
too.
just giving
so that
things
you come
away,
in-
you're, you know, teaching or having some sort of interaction and,
Yeah,
and
some sort of creative outlet or something.
What
Yeah.
we've usually done is we've had color sheets. Kids could come, sit, color. The parents needed a break or whatever, they could just leave, plop them there for a few minutes.
While they
let the
prep
kids
food or
color.
something.
When they were done, we'd hang up their artwork and display it around the edge of the booth.
Oh, that's cute. I would hate that.
And then, of course, we load them up with sugar and noisy toys and send them on their way.
So Amy, can you, does this make sense? Asking folks that helped with Arts for All that might come in for a half a day to help sort of man the booth? What would you say
Man the
again?
booth and then provide an activity while they're there.
Yeah,
And
similar
that
to
way,
what they
that
do.
way, the entire fair, you have a variety of activities rather than the same activity the whole week.
Yeah.
Plus, you have 4-H and FFA kids who are literally living at the fairgrounds for the entire week. That gives them an outlet of something to do that's not just running around being
Teenagers.
good menaces.
No.
Yeah, so if you know, even if they only wanted to come in, you know, during prime hours, so say, you know, 10 or 11 to 6 or 7 and not stay till they close at night, then that's still better than nothing. And that also gives the fair the opportunity to promote different activities that are happening. Somebody we might reach out to for this too is Amy Bond, who paints the fair poster every year. She's the one who's painted the fair. She might come and do an activity during the day in the booth, you know, just a simple paint. I don't know, acrylics probably dry really quickly in the heat, but
Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
No, I think that all sounds amazing.
yeah. It's just, I'm thinking about, since we don't have the carnival and we don't have necessarily all the games and stuff that attract
That's a good
kids,
point.
having something like that is a variety that keeps people coming
Mhm.
back.
Although the water park did really well.
Yeah.
That was a good idea.
Do we know what the dates are for County Fair this
I
year?
do. It's the
It's that first week in
4th,
August usually.
3rd, 2nd. It ends on the 2nd, so it starts the Wednesday and ends August 2nd.
So last week of July?
It's the last week of July, yeah.
Okay.
I purposefully go on vacation.
It ends on the 2nd, so the 30th would be Wednesday,
Yeah,
July 30 through August 2nd.
yeah. Booth setup is usually Monday and Tuesday, so you have all day, either day to set up your booths.
Seems like you've done this before.
I have to do the Barretto booth. I started,
Everybody
I know
wants
we're
to-
being live, but I don't care. I got zero help for many years, so I have purposefully scheduled vacations those weeks for the last 3 years. Unfortunately, I'll be here the first half of the week this year.
No.
It's all right.
Everybody likes to run a chipper at the fair.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that would be
Stop.
something like that. If we could have one of our machines or like a little dummy of it that people could ride on, it would be awesome. But yeah, they don't
No
want
such
us
luck.
trenching up the grounds at the.
I think that at Arts for All, if we wanted to
The sign up.
ask any of the people who are running a booth if they'd be interested in doing a 3-hour,
Yeah, there you go.
not even like, we don't even say full day, half day, just say if you want to do a 3-hour stint at the fair, you know, you're gonna do 10 to 1 or something. We
These
take
are
a
the-
break from 1 to 2, so everybody's going lunch, whatever, and then we have somebody from 2 to 5 or whatever.
These are the dates. These are the blocks. Pick
Like,
one.
Yeah.
It's not like they would have to man the booth because I'm there
No,
every
yeah,
day.
we don't necessarily need somebody to man the booth. Like, just if they are interested in helping us provide a free activity,
Yeah.
to the kids,
That
same
would
as
be
Arts
awesome.
for All, but it's just a 3-hour stint at the
That would
fair.
be
I like that
Cool.
because we can also see which activities are like really popular. and
Exactly,
going
and
over well.
even
So
if
that
it's
we
the
know for
exact same
future
one they
things.
use at Arts for All, like that's
Yeah.
not the worst thing in the world. It's
Yeah.
still
It's gonna
something
hit
that
Yeah.
Yeah.
different kids.
exactly.
And it could be
and
something as simple as that. They're doing shaving cream, like dyeing shaving cream and painting with it, and painting with bubbles, and
yeah,
it's yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I said, like summer camp
yeah.
crafts.
Quickie
Like
crafts.
that's yeah, not hard to come by. And I will be here for that time of the year, so I can help come up with some things and stuff.
Me
But
too.
I think that if we wanted to just survey, since we're throwing out that word so much, the people at Arts for All to see if any of them are interested, I can come up with a, spreadsheet block of like, these are the hours that we're going to have them at. That way they know what they're getting into. Oh yeah, I'll be here this weekend. I can do this one. That's great.
Yeah.
And if we don't fill them all up, we don't fill them all up. But I think that, yeah, having a booth at the county fair and having that opportunity to provide that to kids would be awesome.
Not to throw another iron in the fire, but maybe during Crazy Days too, having some sort of little table downtown.
Oh, yes, that was, I forgot
When
that.
is Crazy Days?
It's in July sometime.
Oh my
I think
goodness.
third Saturday.
Yeah.
Before the 4th?
No, the third Saturday.
Third Saturday, yeah.
Of July.
Yeah.
So it would be
I heard it
literally
that way first, too.
the week before.
Yeah, something like that.
It might be 2 weeks before the actual fair weekend, so it wouldn't be the 27th. It would, I think it's the weekend before that.
Okay.
So I would just suggest like once it's still early in the year, right? But once we get to that May, June, that's when we decide on some
Yeah.
of that stuff
Okay.
to see what.
Maybe have somebody,
That's totally
maybe
fine.
have somebody out there for when they do the trick or treating too.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can decide all of that
Yeah.
closer to, but I think that just right off the bat, in time for April's meeting, I will come up with a spreadsheet for the fair so that I can give that to you,
Okay.
so that you can have that for Arts for All to survey the artists there. And if everybody wants to chat with humans to get them in contact with Chris.
So do
And
we,
then we can talk more in depth about the fair and about Crazy Days.
so do we want to
in
commit
April.
to having a booth at the fair?
That is the motion we need tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I move to have a booth at the fair this
I'll
year.
second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Awesome.
So Evie, are you gonna coordinate that again?
Yes.
Or, okay, thanks.
And then the other thing is the budget last year was $150. And that included the booth fee and 2 extra lanyards. Cause the booth comes with 2 lanyards.
Is the fee this? Do you happen to know if the fee is the same?
That's why
I think the booth fee is the same this year. We haven't gotten our form yet, but Kathy hasn't mentioned that it's changed, and she usually gives me a heads up.
Is it 150 for the passes? Or
it was
it's
150
for
and that
stuff?
included the passes and 2 extra entry lanyards.
I thought it was like $40, and then the 150 was candy and stuff.
No, the candy and stuff I get free.
Okay. Okay, well, with the motion then would be and whatever it costs
Yeah.
to give.
I think how we
The-
worded it last year was do not exceed.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then if I needed more, I could come for more, but we usually, thanks to Chris, you sent him on the shopping mission.
Great.
We
So
didn't have to really buy anything.
If you want, if you guys are good at that consensus wise, we can just
Mhm.
leave that, I'll just add that
That's
to the
fine.
motion. So-
Okay. Yeah.
Plus, that's the other reason I needed to ask, because if I want free candy out of Walmart, I gotta turn it in by tomorrow, 5 o'clock.
Good
Wow.
timing.
Yeah. Seriously good timing. Dang. Okay. I think that finishes out new business. Does anybody else have anything else? We good?
Good.
Okay. Staff reports, Mr. Director.
Mine's just a single box update, so, cause it's off the agenda, but, so, you know, I met with, Vanessa with Oregon Sign Company, and I had her at this table, and I was like, okay, these crazy people want you to put all this into their thing, and somehow make it work, and she was like, okay, we'll try. No, she was awesome. She's like, yeah, whatever, no problem. So anyway,
Okay.
what you missed was,
You
what
worried
you
me.
may not have seen is there were a lot of 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper because schools can't follow directions. So there was one school that followed direction, that's Greenwood, and the middle school and the high school, but they should. But the two other elementaries did not at all.
Yeah,
It's like they
no,
took
I saw that, it was,
Yeah. they
there
took
were,
the
there
lazy
were
route.
times there I was giggling and,
So we
but
had
it looked like you
Kyle.
guys had a blast doing it.
Yeah. So anyway, the mission of this group was to make those into some sort of collage on the thing. So, you know, originally we had them kind of taped around, and then I was like, no, scan here. Here's the stack that goes on one side. Here's the stack that goes on the next side. Here's the stack, right? We separated them for her. And we said, here, make it look good, right? Because some of those will fit, and they'll crop them and whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, she said that she'll have that done by next week. And so then, at our next meeting, we can review those, double check those, and make sure you got
And
what
then
you want.
can we get a hold of ODOT and have them come to the meeting?
Well, I need to check the,
Cause we have to,
Step-by-step
this is where,
instructions.
this is the point where we have to, we have to get them involved.
yeah,
Cause they go through and they go, okay, yes, or no, or whatever, and then in conjunction with them, we take it to the city council and then we're off and running.
okay. I'll check the directions that you gave me. I've got them on my desk.
I
Make
have
sure
it at
that's
home
the right
too.
order. Because it might be city first, then ODOT, might be ODOT first.
No, ODOT first.
Yeah, in that case, we'll.
Talking about Highway 30.
So I'll probably send those out to you ahead of time. You can check
Yeah.
your email for those.
Thank you.
If you see anything weird, then you can say, well, wait, are you sure?
Well, and the
So-
lady that came and presented it to us, she's real cool too, so.
Sounds good. And then that way via email, you guys can say, yep, and then I'll invite ODOT to the next one. And then we can say, well, maybe I'll just email them to her. Maybe she doesn't need to look at it. I don't know. We'll see. Okay.
Well, if you could send her the pictures, she would need to, she could
Good
send her the
enough.
pictures and she'd go yes, no, and do it via email.
Might work. Anyway, look out for that in the next.
Get the cheerleader to stand on top of the table and take pictures.
We'll have electronic copies of everything by then.
Awesome. Cool. I think that's just about it then. Everybody submit your time cards if you haven't already. Does anybody have any commissioner comments?
I spent 2 hours watching the YouTube, that was about it.
Just gotta put it on the thing.
God, I hate that.
I don't know.
Okay, awesome. Well, next meeting is April 9th.